everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now, don't forget, if you aren't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button and hit the notification bell for when I next upload. Now, I haven't done one of these videos before, but I thought because I'm getting better at editing skills, I thought I'd give it a try. So obviously, because I like movies, I want to do a movie ranking, but it was which movie series to rank, and I decided I'm going to rank the Star Wars movies, because the 9th Star Wars Rise of Skywalker is now out in the UK for digital and DVD release. So let's get down to the business and rank all 9 Star Wars Skywalker saga. So no Solo and no Rogue One, as they are side stories. Well, not Rogue One, but Rogue One is not an official Skywalker Star Wars episode. We're going to be ranking episodes 1 to 9 all the way through. Right, here we go. So, Attack of the Clones for me, it's kind of boring film for me, in all honesty. None of it works for me. I get what they're trying to do with the Padme and Anakin storylines, but it just seems dull and boring for me. The whole movie is, to be honest. The only things that are quite of interest is Annie's mother dying. That was a bit sad. And also the end battle between the clones. That was also good, but for me, why it's last place is because the whole film is kind of boring. It shows no lack. It has some great moments with Ewan McGregor and his death, and also the end battle. But in all fairness, that's just that. It's one of the worst films in the Star Wars franchise for me. Phantom Menace. A lot of people hate this film, but I don't hate it. I just don't like it. Some of the things in it are obviously bad, like Jar Jar Binks and Jar Jar Binks, and some of the CGI in this is terrible. But the thing that saves this film is Darth Maul, the end Darth Maul bit, and the pod race. The pod race is very, very good. It's very well played out, but the whole ending of Star Wars is good. Obviously, the highlight of this film is the Darth Maul. It's one of the best lightsaber battles you'll see, and Duel of Fates is a classic theme for it. But Phantom Menace as a movie, it's just bad, boring, and it just does not work for half of the film. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but it's just a film that does not work. Star Wars The Last Jedi, it's better than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, but it's not good. The only improvements are the end in this film, because the majority of this film is slow paced, boring, and in the middle of it with the Rose character, it just does not work for me at all. I like what they did with the Rey and Kylo Ren chemistry in that film. I did like that, and the end where Luke uses the Force and comes back but dies, unfortunately. I do like those parts, but this film isn't the best they've done. It's boring at times, but at times this is a good film as well. So I feel this film could have been better if they'd done certain things better. Rise of Skywalker is a divisive film, and given what, I don't care what the public's, I wanted to go in, see Star Wars Rise of Skywalker as a good film, and it was. For me, it was a good film. I do get why bringing back Emperor Palpatine in some people's eyes is lazy writing for an end, but I was entertained by it. I felt intimidated by its power right at the end with the light force, but the whole film as itself is sometimes boring. I don't like the way they use Finn and Rey and the 3 main characters, Poe, Finn and Rey, how they disargue and argue sometimes. I don't like those bits, but in overall, this film is better than the previous 3 on this list. And for me, the things work on this list. The climax is, I felt the climax. I know it's rushed and it could have been a longer film to put in, but this film for me just works. This film just generally works for me. Will be surprised at why I've put Return of the Jedi in 5th here, but the reason for me, it is a good film. It climaxes the original trilogy captively off. It's a really, really good film. The only thing that ruined it for me was the Ewoks. I did not like the Ewoks. As a child, I probably did, but when I look back at it now, the Ewoks just didn't, that whole bit, except for the fight with the Ewoks and the Stormtroopers, that was the rest of it was meh. The only bit with the Ewoks that I did like was the Ewoks versus the Stormtroopers, as I said. Those are the bits. But the whole dynamic of the film just generally works. You feel the impact of the Emperor back even now is a brilliant thing, and the way Darth Vader ends, it's just sad. But the whole film itself is a very good film. I rate this film better than Rider. I rate this film very, very much. Again, Force Awakens, not many people will agree with me for this one, why I'm putting it above Return of the Jedi, but for me, this film works. It does feel a lot like A New Hope. A lot of its plot lines is based off A New Hope, but that's where it works. Its familiarity for me, it's brilliant. The whole thing with killing Han Solo off, I was shocked because that was Star Wars. The Force Awakens was my first Star Wars film in a cinema, and I was really excited to watch this. And I was really, at the time, I really enjoyed it. And today, I still enjoy it, even though it is very similar to A New Hope. But that's, I feel, where it works. A lot of it does work for me. It does do things different with Poe, with the Poe character, and obviously you've got the scavenger Rey, but obviously I liked where they went with the Poe character in this film. It's just in future sequels that they didn't do him justice. But this film as a whole is brilliant, and it's a pretty entertaining film to watch. So Revenge of the Sith is obviously, in a lot of people's eyes, the best prequel film there is. Some people don't like it, but a lot of people do like it, and I agree. This film is one of the best Star Wars films there is. They build the whole Anakin up, and they give him a genuine reason to turn to the dark side, and that is brilliant. They execute all the Jedi perfectly. Even the final battle, when after killing the Viceroy, the battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin, it's just brilliant. It's like one of the best Star Wars duels in Star Wars, despite the Darth Maul. It is just one of the best Star Wars things you are going to see. The whole film as itself works for me. It just doesn't feel boring, lacking. It just builds expectations up, and then when they get there, it is effective as can be. And that's what's good about this film. It doesn't feel boring, doesn't feel sluggish. It goes at a right pace at the right time. I'm very happy with this film. It was a tough call between first and second place, but obviously I've chosen A New Hope for second place. I rewatched in preparation of this video the original one, and back then it is brilliant because the original is brilliant. They have this. I get why it's not the best because of. I get why some people don't like it anymore because of what expectations have surpassed Star Wars fans. But for me, it's the story of how a young boy, just a scavenger or whatever on planet, just doesn't know what to do, and he joins the Jedi. He joins the rebellion. It is pretty much a basic story and captivating enough, and it was a huge success back in 1977, and it still is. I felt very amused, entertained, and it just is a classic film, and it's just the best thing about it, the Star Wars. This film started everything off, and I'm grateful for that. Now, number one is obviously Empire Strikes Back. For me, this film is everything about Star Wars, everything that should be Star Wars. Everything that they did was brilliant, from capturing Han Solo, one of the top bounty hunters in the galaxy. The whole film, just start to finish, is ultimate. The way they build the Vader and Luke, the Jedi, the first instance of Jedi training between Master Skywalker, between Luke and Yoda, it is fantastic. Even the end bit, even the final reveal of Luke is between Darth Vader's Luke's father is a classic. It is just a brilliant film, and I agree that this film is the best Star Wars film in my opinion. Obviously, all these films are just my opinion, of course. So that is it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think you would rate the Star Wars films. Of course, these are just my opinions, whether you would rank them differently, but hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell when I do more videos. Thank you for watching, guys. See you later.